Okay, let's have a look at what happened in the last few years, right? You look at COVID, you look at Anthony Fauci, who some people put up there as the golden boy of science and told us to stay at homes and wear masks and walk 6 feet from each other. I mean, the stuff that's coming out now, we're starting to realize that number one, COVID originated in a lab, the Wuhan Institute. Number two, they were genetically modifying diseases, right? A lot of these diseases were not transmissible between humans. It was only after modification through these labs that a lot of these viruses became transmissible between humans. The manipulation that's been going on in the last, I wouldn't say few years, I'm just talking about COVID, but you know, if you actually look into Fauci and you actually look at what this guy has been involved in, back from the Bush administration and the AIDS pandemic. You know, RFK, I believe, is getting sworn into a position of power sometime soon. So I think there's going to be a lot of stuff released around then. And, you know, regardless of which side of the fence, you know, you guys stand on, I don't particularly stand on any side of the fence. I think a lot of these people, governments, presidents are powerless. I think there are higher entities, almost at a kind of a cultist level, that actually enjoy conflict between us. You know, it actually benefits them. So it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter what side of the fence you stand on, right? There are always powers that are going to profit. And we saw that with COVID, right? If you look at the companies that profited off that. So we're talking about companies that cross international boundaries, right? They're not country specific, right? They're around the world. And the people at the top of these ladders are the ones that are operating on the oldest trick in the book, which is divide and conquer. Keep us guessing, keep us constantly worried about the next disaster, so that we develop this kind of goldfish mindset that we just forget what happened yesterday. And COVID might just be I believe it's the testing ground for the next thing that will be coming along. And I tell you something, that will be, in my opinion, I think that could be a lot worse, because they are already doing tests, right? They are already manipulating pathogens, viruses, parasites, diseases. You've had turbo cancers that have literally just exploded in the last few years among young people, right? You have diseases that people are dying of right now that were unheard of 20 years ago. You have neurological things that are coming out that we just have no idea. I mean, you know, working with patients for the last 2.5 years, I mean, you know, visual snow is just one of the symptoms that I've been dealing with, you know, when it comes to my patients. There are all sorts of weird and wonderful symptoms that are arising in people, and expect that to continue, because a lot of the time we're not fighting natural things. We're fighting things that are being manipulated in labs, and the proof of that is coming out now, and it will be coming out in the next few months. If you go have a look at the book on Fauci, which was written by RFK, if you look at the documentaries on Fauci, you realize that this type of manipulation, this genetic manipulation, has been going on for decades, okay? And by telling us to stay at home, right, out of the sun, right, which coincidentally is one of the best things for your immune system, right? Wearing masks, not talking to each other, putting us in a sense of fear, which is what I talk about on my channel, right? What kind of state do you think the body is going to be in? So anyway, sorry to go off on a bit of a tangent, but, you know, recently I lost people who I knew through vaccine injuries. And obviously for the last 2 years, I've been dealing with people with vaccine injuries who've had all sorts of symptoms arise after taking vaccines, okay? Or have been in obviously stressful situations. You know, there's the origin for a lot of these symptoms, etc. As I mentioned, right, it just depends specifically on the person, okay? There's so many different factors that can contribute to that. Hi guys, so I have a quick favor to ask. Some of you guys are coming to the channel for the first time. Some of you have been following me for a while. It seems that only around 50% of people have actually subscribed. So if I could just ask you, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. and switch on the notification button. It really kind of helps us grow the channel and helps with the algorithm as well. The last couple of years have been full of censorship, and my channel's been affected by that as well, in terms of the content I can put out. What I'm hoping now with a lot of change that's happening in the industry, especially with the big tech platforms, a lot of the fact checkers, a lot of the censorship is going away. So I'm hoping that will continue, and I'll be able to put out better content around, a lot of topics that perhaps in the past I was a little bit hesitant to discuss, just because, my channel was, I believe, shadow banned, and I believe there was a lot of censorship around a lot of different topics that you couldn't discuss in the last couple of years. So guys, if you could please, as I said, like, subscribe, share to any groups and any people that you find, that might find this helpful. It really, really helps the channel, and you'll be doing me a massive favor. Okay. I think we're all smart enough to know now that there has been a lot of manipulation by the health industry in the last few years, and a lot of people benefited. So it's up to us to really take care of ourselves and share information with each other wherever possible, and, really be prepared for what might come down the line.